Now at 10, protests against ICE have erupted nationwide, including in Joplin. Plus, an Independence, Missouri man may spend the rest of his life in prison. And book lovers swap stories at Joplin Public Library.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
This is KOAM News. I'm Blake Gully. Invisible Joplin held a peaceful protest today along 7th and Range line to call attention to recent national events involving immigration and customs enforcement. The group gathered to honor Renee Good, an American citizen killed by an ICE agent in Minneapolis on Wednesday, to demand accountability and for violence and abuse by federal immigration authorities. Organizers stressed nonviolence throughout the event, reminding participants to de-escalate any potential conflicts. The protest ended with a moment of silence as community members reflected on Good's death and called for national reform. An Independence, Missouri man was found guilty of multiple charges, including double murder. Friday, a jury in Cherokee County, Kansas, found Kyle Lynn Butts guilty on all charges, including 2 counts of first-degree murder, 1 count of attempted murder, and 1 count of interference with law enforcement. The conviction stems from an incident back in November of 2022. Baxter Springs authorities responded to reports of a shooting in the 2400 block of Lincoln. When officers arrived on scene, they attempted life-saving measures for 3 individuals suffering from gunshot wounds. Jeremy Murphy of Anderson, Missouri, and Craig Gunn of Pineville, Missouri, died at the scene. The third man, Seth Gunn, also of Pineville, was taken to a hospital in critical condition. Both prosecution and defense presented closing arguments Friday afternoon. The defense argued the murder was not premeditated and was out of self-defense. The prosecution argues Butts, quote, selected his targets and shot them with the intention of ending their lives. The jury returned its guilty verdict just after 5 hours of deliberation. Butts faces a mandatory sentence of life in prison with no possibility of parole for 50 years on the murder convictions. The sentencing date has been scheduled for March 9th. Meteorologist Donald O'Keefe joins us with the first look at weather.
Well, the cool weather is definitely here and it'll continue even into tomorrow as well, but the warm-up is coming. Let's take a look at our almanac. 49 degrees for a high today. The average is 44, so we're about 5 degrees above average, but like I said, temperatures are going to be cool going into tomorrow. Tonight, we're going to see a low of about 26 degrees, mostly clear conditions, a bit breezy, winds out of the north about 10 to 15 miles an hour. They could gust up to 25 as well. Let's take a look at our future track for tonight into tomorrow. We're going to have mostly clear skies as we get into Sunday morning. This is Sunday morning around 8 a.m. There's those temperatures about the mid-20s. We're going to stay sunny pretty much all of Sunday. However, we're only going to get up to the low to mid-40s for our Sunday. And like I said, we're going to start warming up by Monday. But let's take a look at tomorrow here. Mostly sunny skies through the day, but like I said, only warming up to a high of 43 degrees. But those 60s will return by Monday and Tuesday. Those details coming up.
Book lovers gathered at the Joplin Public Library today for a much-anticipated book swap. Community members brought in books they finished and left with something new, whether it was one title or an entire stack. Attendees enjoyed sharing their favorite reads, discovering new stories, and connecting with fellow book lovers.
My favorite part is just seeing what people bring in and what they end up taking with them, and just like readers from the community coming together, exchanging books, chatting about books. It's really exciting.
For teens, a youth-adult book swap is coming January 31st. The Webb City Historical Society held its annual meeting today at the City Library. During the event, attendees heard about the Society's latest project, placing historical markers on more than 20 homes throughout Webb City, a project that started as an Eagle Scout initiative. The meeting also included a presentation of Webb City History Campaign Award.
I like how it's kind of spread and how much the community seems to appreciate it more than I expected. I hope the community recognizes that Webb City has a lot of history behind it, maybe more than most people realize.
During the event, society officers and board members were also elected. A women's prison in Missouri is having a program to approach for new mothers by keeping them with their babies. In less than a year, a new prison nursery has brought new hope to the moms of 16 babies. Megan Abiz has the story.
A baby boom in the Missouri women's prison. 16 babies born in 2025 to incarcerated women, all bonding here.
And fell in love with her baby
at the new prison nursery.
Now they have a chance to fight for their families.
Kim Perkins is the nursery manager.
It changes lives. A lot of these ladies would not have been able to keep their babies.
Yay, baby!
An inmate, Kathy Briggs, was one of them.
I genuinely was ready to put my girls up for adoption.
She said this program changed everything.
I have 2 babies that are girls. Their names are Lyric and Melody. They are almost 9 months old.
I'm just so excited to be a part of this program. It's just amazing because you watch women who come with so much trauma and history.
The inmate moms are taught life, home, and parenting skills. Before, separation after birth was immediate. This is a very new way of doing things in Missouri.
If moms could have had this opportunity to be with their children while incarcerated, that they would have had that connection to their children.
The work doesn't end there. After prison, Trish Mathis runs a 9-month program for moms and their babies.
That's what we do at Michigate. We try to help people to be independent. More parenting classes and hands-on interaction with raising their babies.
That's where Kathy's going this month.
You know, the person I was when I walked through these doors almost a year ago was a very angry and hateful and hopeless person. But today I can sit here and say that I'm just filled with hope for the future, and I believe in better days.
Coming up, a rare move by Republicans in the House this week gave new life to enhanced Affordable Care Act tax credits. And plus, from AI-powered smart locks to robot chefs, we're showing you the coolest gadgets from the CES in Las Vegas. A possible breakthrough in Congress on health care. The House has approved an extension to extend of the Affordable Care Act tax credits that expired on January 1st. 17 Republicans broke ranks to support it. This issue has been a major reason for the historic government shutdown last fall. As Nicole Killen tells us, the bill now goes to the Senate, which has rejected new subsidies in the past.
A rare Republican rebuke.
Our healthcare system is broken.
17 GOP lawmakers broke with House Speaker Mike Johnson Thursday night and joined Democrats to extend enhanced Affordable Care Act tax credits for 3 years.
The issue before us is how to actually get to a compromise bill.
But a clean extension is a non-starter in the Senate, where a similar bill failed last month.
Let the money go directly to the people.
This week, the president urged Republicans to show some flexibility, and in recent weeks, a bipartisan group of lawmakers has been working towards a compromise.
Do you believe that a bipartisan deal is in reach in the Senate? And for the millions of people who are enrolled in the ACA, should they have confidence that these credits will actually be extended?
American people should ask Leader Thune, are you willing to put this bill that the House now is moving forward on the floor of the Senate, because it will pass. And that is the way to get this done.
James Hollywood has been following the debate on Capitol Hill.
I was blown away when I seen figures over the thousands.
The small business owner and single father switched one of his daughters from Obamacare to a private insurance plan because it was cheaper, and fears he'll have to scale back more if the credits aren't extended.
What would that mean for your budget and your bottom line?
Yeah, my budget is going to increase. I may be reduced the amount of and access to my treatment and care.
Democratic leaders are pushing for an immediate vote on the 3-year subsidy extension. Meantime, senators working on a bipartisan compromise hope to unveil their plan next week. The aim is to try to get something done before open enrollment ends January 15th.
The Trump administration is planning an audit to all of Minnesota's Medicaid bills. That announcement came from the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services Administrator Emmett Oz on Tuesday. In an interview on Fox News, Oz sent a letter he said a letter has been sent to Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. It notifies Walz that Minnesota's Medicaid bills will face an audit that comes as federal investigation is underway tied to a welfare fraud scandal in the state. Oz said all Medicaid bills are under this audit. That includes a specific focus on 14 programs that Oz said the Walz administration has admitted to having problems. The Trump administration is freezing more benefits for low-income families in 5 Democrat-led states. The freeze applies to about $7 billion from temporary assistance for needy families, also known as welfare. It also affects more than $2 billion for the Child Care Development Fund and millions for the Social Services Block Grant. The affected states are California, Colorado, Illinois, Minnesota, and New York. The Department of Health and Human Services accuses the states of widespread fraud, but no evidence appears to be support that claim. Wyoming Supreme Court has struck down the state's near total abortion ban. The state's highest court also rejected a law that prohibits the sale of abortion pills. The justice says the new laws violate the state Constitution. Wyoming Governor Mark Gordon lashed out at the court's decision. The Republican leader called on the state's legislators to pass a constitutional amendment on abortion as soon as possible. If the Republican-controlled legislature passed such an amendment, it would also have to go before voters in November. The CES 2026 is underway in Las Vegas right now. The Consumer Electronics Show highlights some of the biggest tech products that will hit shelves later this year, from smart sprinklers systems to robots that can fold your laundry, and I'm waiting on that. Jen Sullivan takes us inside in today's Consumer Watch.
It's the World's Fair of Technology and Gadgets, the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas.
The whole idea is to see the latest technology that will be available to change and enhance our lives.
The more than 2.6 million square foot exhibit space is like a giant time machine into the not so distant future. Allison Freed with CES says this year artificial intelligence is taking tech to a new level.
AI is completely changing global economies, essentially.
The multi-day event brings together some of the smartest tech minds from more than 4,000 companies. Sorry, it's not open to the public. So let's take a look at some of the products promising to make life easier for us. Like Deslock Smart Lock. No need to enter your home with a key. This solar-powered gadget reads your face.
If you're not at home and you have a parent, a friend, a kid who needs to get in, you can upload their picture, make sure that they are an approved user to come into your house.
This smart lock costs about $300. Check out this robotic lawnmower from Dream that can give you real-time feedback on your lawn. Sticker price about $3,000. Tired of watering your lawn with a hose? Check out Aper's smart irrigation system. It tailors care to every plant in your garden. It will cost you around $580. Love to grill? Several companies are rolling out smart grills that can perfect your meat. No more burnt burgers. And how about this? LG's Cloyd, the robot that will take over household tasks like cooking and laundry. Many of these products will be available to buy this year. For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
Donald is next with a complete look at the forecast. And a little later, Tom Hiddleston returns in season 2 of The Night Manager, plus Rachel McAdams and her boss struggle to survive on a deserted island in a dark comedy, Send Help.
Yeah, temperatures are on a bit of the cool side for tonight and into tomorrow, but the warm-up is coming on Monday. But let's take a look ahead right now. Like I was saying, we're going to see mild temperatures to start the week. We can see those highs be in the upper 50s and even 60 by Tuesday as well. But we will return into the 40s by Wednesday as a cold front will push in by that day. And then also that's going to set up possibly snow chances by later next week as well. So let's get into it. Let's take a look at our almanac for today. We get up to a high of 40. 49 degrees. The average is about 44 degrees for this time of year, so we're a little bit above average, about 5 degrees. So on the warmer side, if you want to call that warm. Tonight, not going to be so warm for us. We're going to see a low of 26 degrees, mostly clear skies, a bit breezy. Winds out of the north about 10 to 15 miles an hour, and they could gust up to 25, which also means there could be some wind chills tomorrow morning, which will likely be in the mid to upper teens as well. So let's take you through time here on our future track. Tonight, we're going to see mostly clear skies. As we get into Sunday morning, there's those clear skies as well. Now, like I was talking about, temperatures in the mid-20s, and wind chills could be in the teens as well for Sunday morning. We're going to start warming up a little bit because that sun's going to come out, but not too much, only getting into the low to mid-40s for our Sunday. But then there's going to be the change as we get into Monday morning. Now the winds are coming out of the south. That's going to be warming up our area. We're going to start off in the low to mid-30s on Monday morning, but that sun's going to be warming things up by Monday afternoon, getting up into the mid to upper 50s and even pushing 60 down there in the southern counties as well. So if you're planning your day for tomorrow, mostly sunny skies through the day, but only getting up to a high of 43 degrees. So you're going to need a jacket at least until we get into Monday, but Sunday night dropping down to 31 degrees, mostly clear, and like I said, still a little bit above average for overnight lows. Taking a look at Indigo Sky Casino and Resort Cam, not a bad evening. Like I said, on the cooler side, you're going to need a jacket if you want to get out and enjoy a late night walk. Excuse me. All right, let's take a look at our upper level flow. Why is it going to be a little bit on the warmer side Monday and Tuesday, and why am I talking about snow chances? So we're going to see that cold system you can see behind that, behind the cold front out there by the Great Lakes, bringing that colder air to our area. That's Sunday. Then we get into Monday, we have a bit of a high pressure, a weak high pressure is going to be interacting with the area, warming things up into, like I said, the 50s and 60s by Monday. But then as we get into Tuesday, that's when the warmest time, we're going to see warmest temperatures. But here's Wednesday. We have a low pressure system up there in the Great Lakes, dragging that cold Arctic air behind it. That's basically going to set up those colder temperatures Wednesday, Thursday, and then here is those snow chances on Friday, as that system's going to be bringing that cold Arctic air behind it and also dragging up some moisture from the Gulf that could also influence that snow chances as well. And then behind it on Saturday next week, that's when we're going to see those colder temperatures return again. So take a closer look here. Monday, temperatures in the mid 50s. As we go into Tuesday, the warmest day of the week, we're going to see temperatures get into the low 60s possibly. Then by Wednesday, there's that colder front coming in that's setting up that cold air for snow chances as we get into late Thursday and into Friday morning. So let's see, by the time we get to Thursday, they're upper 30s. Here comes those snow chances on Friday morning. Like I said, that's going to set up possibly maybe some accumulations, but it's still a bit out, so we're going to keep an eye on that over the next couple of days. Taking a look at our 7 to 10 day here, 43 degrees on Sunday, 57 on Monday, 61 on Tuesday, then dropping back down to the mid 40s by Wednesday, and I gotta say, we might have some snow on Friday.
And when you said snow, all I could hear is Boyz II Men's song, Let It Snow, because I know a lot of people are going to be excited in the 4 states to see that around here.
We'll see if we get any accumulation with it.
Yes, thanks, Donald. Still ahead in sports, Pitt State football announces additions and promotions to the coaching staff. And Missouri Southern basketball is back for another MIAA matchup against Newman. Ben McLeish has those stories and more up next in sports.
Coming off a rivalry match against Pitt State, Missouri Southern basketball is back at home to take on Newman. The Lady Lions off to a great start in MIAA play, taking on the Jets. Third quarter, Grace Frazier at the top of the key finds Ashlyn Alloway down low. She lays it in to give Southern a double-digit lead. Final minute of the quarter, Newman closes the gap to 5 points, but Frazier knocks down the pull-up jumper to pad the Lion advantage. MSSU looking to close it out in the final 10 minutes. Nariah Clay drives to the paint through 2 defenders. She drops in the layup for the points. Southern now passing it around, finding Cameron Smith. She looks for a lane and knocks down the shot off the glass as the Lions stay red hot, taking down Newman 71-63 with 3 different players scoring in the double digits.
If you're relying on one person to have to do everything, if that kid gets in foul trouble, then it's hard. Who do you go to? With us, we've got 3 kids that we feel that can score the ball, and then we got a couple other kids that I know can make shots as well within our offense, and that's a big plus, I think, for us, because you can't key on one kid. If you try to take one kid completely out, we've got 2 or 3 other kids that can score the ball.
The men's team looks to bounce back from 4 straight losses. First possession, Isaiah Atwater finds Colin Ruffin, who attacks the basket and knocks down the shot for the game's first points. Right back on the attack, Atwater with the give to an open Braden Williams, who knocks down the triple for Southern. Now Ruffin finds Hunter Fitch in the paint. Fitch slams it home as the Lions jump to a 7-point lead. MSSU looking to keep pouring it on. El Camille wide open. He's gonna nail the 3-pointer for the Lions. Missouri Southern cruises to the 72-50 win and a sweep of Newman. Staying in Joplin, 3 of our local high school teams battle in the final day of the Kaminsky Classic. The hosting Eagles clashing with Webb City in the 5th place game. 4th quarter tie game, and Hudson Mathiasen kicks it to Mason Young, who drives baseline, count the hoop, and the foul to give the Cardinals the lead. Later in the 4th, off an offensive rebound, Mathiasen fires and connects from 3. Former Joplin Eagle stepping up big. But Brecken Green has a response, scoring over the defender. Plus the foul, Joplin regains the lead, and Green finished with a game-high 19 points. Eagles leading by 1 in the final minutes. TJ Willis drives and kicks to Fred Taylor, who fires from way downtown. It's good. Joplin leads by 4 as the Eagles claim 5th place with a 47-41 win over the Cardinals. The Bulldogs of Carl Junction eyeing a 3rd place finish, taking on Francis Howell. And the Vikings came out firing from deep to start, swinging it to Lincoln Swan in the corner. He drains the open 3. But here come the Bulldogs, working the ball around, finding Colby Martin down low, who scores the bucket underneath. Now it's Bryant Hanks' turn to get to work, driving to the lane and getting the friendly bounce off the floater. And Hanks was just getting started. Maddox Shorter gives it back to the sophomore guard as Hanks gets to the basket with the layup plus the foul. But it's the Vikings coming out on top to claim 3rd place, 64-54, the final. Pitt State head football coach Tom Anthony announces additions and promotions to the Gorillas coaching staff today. The Gorillas add 3 new faces to the staff. Grant Garner as the offensive line coach, Johnny Botorf, offensive graduate assistant, and Jarek Butcher as the director of football operations. And 2 coaches receive elevated roles. Greg Hollins is now in charge of the wide receivers and the passing game coordination, and Chance Reichen will overlook the tight ends. Well, that's it for sports. We're back with more after this.
Loki star Tom Hiddleston is back in his streaming series, The Night Manager. Rick Makisha has that and more in Hollywood Minute.
You know the real problem with human beings? We're genetically dishonest. You lied to me.
I had no choice.
Tom Hiddleston returns in The Night Manager. Here is your latest look at the 2nd season of the streaming series, debuting this weekend.
No help is coming. This is how things are now. I'm not in the office anymore.
Here's a sneak peek at Send Help. Director Sam Raimi's dark comedy meets psychological thriller stars Rachel McAdams as an underappreciated corporate worker stranded on a deserted island with her new boss. The movie arrives in theaters with preview screenings on the 24th, followed by wide release on the 30th. That's Austin Starr and her latest single, Medusa. The song comes from the Boston Rockers' debut album, I Am the Enemy, slated to release February 13th. In Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
It's time to celebrate the things that brings joy inside your home. Today is National Houseplant Appreciation Day. The day was established in 2012 by the gardeners networks as a way to remind people to bring in a little TLC to those plants during the winter months. Did you know that there are several benefits to having houseplants? Studies have shown they can boost productivity, reduce anxiety, and also pollutants within your home. Houseplants can beautify the space. So again, roll up your sleeves and make sure the soil is good and those plants inside your home are watered. And that's our show. But do you have any weather update for us?
Well, like I said, we're going to see 60s return by possibly Monday and even Tuesday, but we're going to cool back down after that as a cold front's going to be pushing through. And you can see on Friday, we might even have some snow chances, maybe even some accumulation. So we're going to keep an eye on that.
And that was my snow dance, because I know the kids are going to be excited for that. And thanks for joining us tonight, and we will see you tomorrow.